If you're feeling stagnant or stuck, or you're kind of bumping up against the same problems all the time in your business, in your relationship, in your life, then I want to talk about the power of changing your environment. So think about this. You wake up in the morning, and I would say 100% of us do exactly the same thing every day. We wake up, you might go to the bathroom, you go to the toilet, maybe you check your phone, you go to the kitchen, you start making a coffee. Whatever it is, right? You've got a routine that as soon as you wake up in the morning, it is exactly the same. And then you get ready for work. There is such a daily routine of sameness that we follow every single day because it's our comfortable pattern. And I want to show you how this comfortable pattern is actually keeping us stuck in the same problems and the same feeling of stagnation because our environment is starting to program us. So when this podcast comes out, I will most likely just be coming back from a Joe Dispenza event, Dr. Joe Dispenza. So it's a week-long, 7-day meditative retreat, learning and meditation. And one of the things is that he talks about is changing your environment, because our repetitive actions and our repetitive thoughts hardwire our brain to expect more of the same. And so it creates our personality, which creates our personal reality. And so he said trying to change your reality without changing, your personality is not possible. Okay. And so they both have to change. And so one of the things that he talked about is how we do this sameness, right? We do every day is the same. We think the same thoughts, we do the same actions and stay stuck in the same reality. And we want to create these changes in our life, and we're bumping up against the same problems, so we can't seem to change them. One of the things he talks about is changing your environment. And I've certainly seen this in my own life over the years. Little things that I've done has made a huge shift in the way that I feel and the ideas that I get and the way that I think. So when I talk about environment, we're not just talking about your physical spaces, right? We're also talking about internal environment, the things that you repeatedly think each day, the emotions that you feel all the time, right? You go to work and that person annoys you, or your partner's annoying you, or you're not happy in that city, or it's the traffic, or whatever it is. It's that same repetitive thoughts and feelings along with our physical spaces. And so it's getting up and doing the same thing, but it's also thinking the same thing every day. So this is like a hypnotic rhythm. It keeps you in a trance where we keep our patterns stuck, even if we want to change. Why is there such a difference in changing our environment? And the thing is that when we create change, or when we learn something new, or we break a routine, our brain thrives on novelty or newness or learning, right? We get new experiences and it creates new neural networks in the brain. And so there's that saying, neurons that fire together wire together. So we're creating new connections as we're learning something new or seeing something new. And in order to maintain them, we have to maintain that, right? We have to maintain that level of newness. Otherwise, we lose those connections. And so without change, our brain defaults to the familiar, which is the same ideas, the same outcomes, and the same life that we live. And one of the things that Joe was saying that I was listening to on one of his training, and I thought this was so true. If you're having the same experience every day, 99.9% of your day is the same experience because we're feeling the same. We're doing the same things. We're going to the same place for work. If everything's the same, how can the unknown enter your life when there's no space for it, right? When you're in your routine and you're in your environment, there is no space for the unknown to enter your life. And he talks about the unknown being the place of changing our reality, right? But there's no space for newness, right? There's no space for new experiences because we're going along in a comfortable manner. Now, changing your environment, before I get any pushback, because I'll often hear is, I'm too busy, I've got a business to run, my kids need me, I can't just drop everything and leave. And look, you could do micro things that would change your routine, okay? And I'm going to show you. So you could do something like a short-term getaway just for the weekend. Just go somewhere, spend overnight somewhere, wake up in the morning, go for a hike, or do something different, something that you don't normally do. And that could just be a one-day thing. It could be an afternoon even. You could change your work setting. You could take a call from the park. You could put your laptop outside and work outside. You could work from a cafe. You could work from anywhere, somewhere different, right? Or rearrange your desk or make something new about your work environment. You could change your schedule. You could go for a walk at a different time, take a day off midweek. You could wake up in the middle of the night to meditate. I don't know if you want to do that one. But I remember once I was doing a training and it was based in the UK and I was in Australia. So the time difference was huge. And I remember the training was going to run overnight. And I thought, you know what, maybe I could do it. And I booked in for this. It was like a 3-4 day workshop. And I remember when it got to like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., I was just like, I cannot do another minute, right? But what I did realize out of that process was it was so good to break out of my routine. It was so good to start learning something at 11 o'clock at night, midnight until like 2 a.m. and then I'd crash. But it was worth it and I did learn a lot, but it was a really good experience to see that it's just so good to throw out your routine sometimes, not be so stuck and programmed by our environment. I had someone say to me the other day, when I first started my business, I felt so good because I wasn't working for somebody else anymore. I wasn't going to an office. My whole routine had changed. And that was another example of changing your environment, just fresh ideas, new inspiration, new motivation. So even if it is waking up in the middle of the night to do a meditation, it could be something so small, but just change your routine. And the benefits that you're going to feel is kind of like a mental reset, right? It'll be like a recharge moment. You'll have breakthroughs. You'll have new ideas. You'll be inspired. You'll be remotivated. It'll be a perspective shift. You'll see things a bit differently in your life. You'll start looking at different angles. It'll be an energy shift, right? Because your body's not used to the same old thing. So there are many benefits to it. And I think at the end of the day, it just feels good because you feel inspired and you feel reset. So I would love for you to leave me a comment below. What will you do this week to intentionally disrupt your week or your day? Leave a comment below.